record and see here. So this is going to be kind of an administrative review for some of you, and for some of you it'll be kind of new. But just for those that are on the newer side, um, when you are entering event orders, let me see. I think we've got okay, so I'm going to open my online orders app just to kind of give you an idea. I know most of you know how to check into an event and all of that, but there are some other details that you're going to want to keep in mind when you are entering your orders. And the reason it's so important to do this part correctly is because when it comes to your stats, you want to make sure that everything is correct, because it does determine your pecking order for your events and when you get to choose or who chooses events first and so on. So if you don't do this correctly, you can end up, messing up your numbers. So if we go to the shop section, um, when you are checking in for an event, you're going to hit this little widget button right here, this little gear. And then most of yours either say like in-person demo or virtual demo. You're going to select event. And then you're going to go ahead and select, I have mine to auto select California, and you can set that up yourself in your settings as well. But you would scroll to your state and then you're going to select the event. So like, well, my event's not available yet because it doesn't start till Thursday, but let's say I'm just going to use the Gold Country Fair as an example because this is the event that Chris and Jonathan just worked this past weekend. So you select the name of the show and press submit, right? And then you'll be able to click on update. And now anything that you enter here is going to be entered under the show. So that's the first step, right? Is making sure you're checked into the show so that your orders go under the event. The second step is once you are entering an order. So let's say you sell a homemaker +8, right? You're going to notice that there's some extra drop downs here, right? So under customer type, this part is really important. Booth sale new customer, booth sale reorder. So if you are working at the booth and you're selling to a customer, most of your orders are going to be this booth sale new customer. If you're selling at the booth and it's a past customer, meaning it's somebody you sold to before, right? Maybe you did a demo for them 2 months ago and now you're running into them at the show, or you told them you were going to be at the show and they came to see you. Then you're going to select booth sale customer reordered. So those are the first two. Now, here's the other important part. So let's say you got some leads from the show, right? I'm going to use Jonathan as an example. Did you get any service call leads this weekend, Jonathan, from the Gold Country Fair?
Yeah, I got a handful.
A handful. So when Jonathan goes and sees those appointments and he does the sharpening, he's going to still tag the event like I showed you, but he's going to select this one right here, the event service call lead new customer. All right. So this means that the order is still going to be entered under the show because you met that customer at that show, but you're going to their home and you're going to be doing a service call for them to sharpen their Cutco knives. And so now you're going to enter them as an event service call lead new customer. So when you run into a past customer at the show and they need sharpening, that's when you would enter them as an event service call lead customer reorder, right? And free looks are if you run into somebody that you are not able to close at the booth, right? Let's say it's somebody that doesn't have Cutco, you've been pitching them, you try dropping down, now you're collecting their information and you're just going to go out to the house and do a demo. Maybe their wife's not there, right? And you're struggling to close them without the spouse. Then maybe you could set a follow-up demo at the house, and that's what this event free look lead new customer would be. Obviously, you want to try to close at the booth, but that's like worst case scenario. If you can't, you've done all the drop downs, you've tried to handle the objections that you can. So I just wanted to explain the difference between these customer types to make sure that everyone understands how to enter their orders correctly so that they tab correctly for the show. And so it'll show up under the event. So like when I go into Eventalytics and I'm looking up our stats for the week, right? So we're in week 1, right? And I'm just going to do NorCal because we were talking about the Gold Country Fair. So here's the Gold Country Fair right here. If you scroll this way, you can see right now there's $0 listed under service calls. So when Jonathan goes to see those 5 leads that he got from the Gold Country Fair, when he enters them under the show and puts that they were a service call lead new customer, then the CPO is going to show up in this column right here under service call. So it'll count towards the whole total for the show, but it gets separated right here with the booth and the service call CPO, and then the free look CPO. So, Jonathan, if you've ever noticed me telling you to fix your order, right, because you're under other over here, this is why. Because then it skews all of our booth stats on this page. And I have to go, oh, well, there's this one that says other. How did we get that CPO? What is it from? Right? So, um, so like somebody did a service call here, and this was at the International Camel and Ostrich races, sold 464 on their service call, if that makes sense. So this is why it's important that you enter everything correctly. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Does anyone have any questions about entering their orders under an event and which subcategories to use under customer type? All right, cool. So I'm going to stop the recording for this.